A lot of people are like, I don't have the experience that's required, so I'm not going to apply. What's up, you guys? Happy hump day. Hump day.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
It's Wednesday.
It's hump day.
Woo-woo!
I actually have Audible. Do any of you guys listen to Audible? Any books that you'd recommend? I love Audible. I talked about it in yesterday's vlog too. I listen to Harry Potter, but majority of the books are actually like nonfiction. They're actually like business. My top book that I recommend to any of you guys would actually be Shoe Dog, the Nike story. So that's the one I'm going to recommend to you. But share any of your book recommendations in the comments and let me take a peek-see. But my desk is a huge mess right now, so.
Thank you very much. Dwight, what are you doing?
What?
What are you doing?
Just clearing my desk. I can't concentrate.
It's not on your desk.
It's overlapping. It's all spilling over the edge.
But today's vlog, we are going to be going over how to actually get a job as a developer. And this is not going to be like your typical make a portfolio, even though that is helpful. We're going to go over tips that both Josh and I have actually used that have gotten us great jobs as developers. And by great jobs, I mean, decent paying and, doing some fun work.
Welcome to the world of debugging. I know what the problem is, but I have no idea where it's laying in wait. Get a good job as a programmer. Pick one particular piece and become really good at it. So for instance, become really good at React or really good at Vue. If you're starting out, don't try and be broad and know everything under the planet because you're going to spread yourself too thin. You're better off mastering one thing.
I would agree with that. And before you pick your one thing, take a look at job listings and see what kind of is the most common thing that you see with the job that you are trying to seek, and then pick that. Because then after you learn that skill, the market is going to be there for that job. Super close. Alright, let me back this up. Let me back it up. Today's topic is getting a job as a developer. And yeah, the portfolio and all that stuff is nice. But something else that is really helpful that I would hope most people know about, especially if you're getting a job, but I do know that at traditional schools you may not have this, or you may not have like a class on it or teachers that tell you about it, but it's using GitHub. GitHub is basically a cloud-based repository, and it uses the Git system so you can push out all your projects in layman's terms. And the reason why that's so important to have is because you can go on GitHub and you can send your link to your profile to basically any employer, and what it does is it shows the languages that you program. So say you're building projects and you're a JavaScript developer, it's going to show that you mostly program in JavaScript, and there's also this little square thing right here, and that shows how much you've been programming. It's a graph that shows how often you're committing your code to GitHub. The reason why doing this is so important is because you can show potential employers how often you're building stuff and what you're building. It's great. That would be tip number dos, would be get a GitHub account and make sure it is up to date with all your projects so you can really show off your skills to people so they want to hire you. But the real question is, how do you get those people to actually get you an interview to hire you?
Interviewer has suspect motives.
Applicant has a head shaped like a trapezoid.
You have to meet them, right? Am I right? You need to go out and meet them. I have said this so many times. If you follow me on Instagram, you know this. Go to meetups. Go to places where actual developers go and other business owners go to meet people and talk with them. A lot of times at meetups, especially dev meetups, they're going to be sponsored by a recruitment company or a company that's looking to hire developers. That's a win-win. You can work with recruiters. I'm definitely for that. I have a lot of friends, family members that have worked with recruiters and have had amazing opportunities because of it. Second, you're going to be in a room with a bunch of other developers. I mean, does it get any better than that. And by doing that, you're making friends. So if those companies that these developers work at are hiring, they are going to more than likely say, hey, I met somebody at such and such meetup that does this. And they're going to do that because they liked you, because you engaged with them, and because you spoke with them. They're going to remember you as that person because you've already had that physical interaction. So they're more likely to suggest that they bring you in for an interview versus somebody that they don't know that just sent in a resume. Go to meetups. That would be number 3. Alright, also, do you guys like my MongoDB engineering hoodie? And no, I'm not a MongoDB engineer. So far we have 1, pick one thing and get really good at it. I can second that because that's what I did with React Native. When I was in school, I was like, I'm going to become the best React Native developer. But what I did is I started speaking at meetups. Even 5-minute talks at meetups when they would be like, hey, does anybody here have a lightning talk? I'd be like, I was scared, but I would be like, yeah, I do. And I would get up there and I would explain, at the time it was Reflux and Redux. And now most people use Redux. But it was explaining those two patterns.
The other part about that is these actions are sequential. Same with dating. You're not going to show up on the first date wearing a wedding dress.
The next thing that we had, so we have pick one thing and get really good at it. So if it's JavaScript, become an amazing JavaScript developer. Pick one framework, Angular, React, Vue, React Native, whatever it is, and get amazing good. Become a pro. Learn the ins and outs of whatever framework is that you're trying to go after. The second part of that is look at actual job descriptions for development jobs that you would potentially want. The reason why that's important is because you don't want to start learning .NET isn't the part of the industry that you're trying to get into. If you're trying to work at an up-and-coming startup, you probably want to learn the tech stack that they're actually using and hiring for. Number 2, use GitHub. Want to be using GitHub because that is the easiest way to show potential employers what you know and how well you know it, because they can go through your code, they can go through your commits. And the third thing is go to meetups. Go and talk to people at developer meetups, because 9 times out of 10, somebody there knows somebody that is looking to hire a developer. Alright, something else that I get asked a lot, so there's also the experience factor of getting a job as a developer. A lot of people are like, I don't have the experience that's required, so I'm not going to apply. I mean, I get that, but I would still apply for the job. But if you don't have the experience, get the experience. When I was in school, I had an internship while I was in school getting the experience as a developer. So I highly recommend doing that. Josh will tell you his story that he worked for free for a year to get experience as a developer. Experience really does matter. So say you can't actually maybe go in to an office to get that type of job, go on any of the freelancing websites. There's Fiverr is the only one that can come to my head right now. I know there's a bunch more, but go on those freelancing websites and start taking jobs on there. Get your experience, start building out your portfolio that way. Talk to anybody that lives in your town that has a small business that might need a website, or maybe they need a website redesign. Figure out a way to get the experience, because you definitely can. There's definitely possibilities around the I don't have the experience excuse. Alright, so there may be a few of you guys that don't have access to actually physically go to meetups or conferences to meet people that are potentially hiring. But another thing that you can do is join online communities. I just started a Slack group. If you guys are curious, the link is in the description below. I believe it's in most of my videos. But that's an online community of developers, designers, basically anybody in the tech industry. And there's a channel in it that has job listings, and it's for people to post job listings at their company or that they know of, and some of them are remote. So if you're in these communities and you are a good and loyal community member, meaning you engage with other people, you provide feedback, you ask questions, and you see that somebody posts, you can reach out to that person and talk with them, and you have a better opportunity or a more likely chance of getting the job because you already know the person that posted that particular job opening. Definitely look to find different Slack groups, sign up for different newsletters, because a lot of times those newsletters have links to other Slack groups that you can get involved in with other developers and other people in the tech community. We film with the Pixel because it's really easy to carry around and the camera is so much better, but it's dead, so I had to move to the iPhone. But I wanted to show it. We're taking a little afternoon break because my sister is going to be coming here in a little bit to hang out, and so I'm having this juice. Josh juiced for us. It's cucumber, celery,
Carrots,
oranges,
spinach.
I think that's it.
And that's about it, I think.
Yeah. So, trying to get healthy. And some cuties, of course. And Josh is having a
salmon salad sandwich with some cheese and sriracha and celery.
On that healthy kick, yo.
That's the way we roll.
Ellie. Ellie. Everybody meet Ellie. Hi, Ellie. Hello. Are you our new dog? Ellie. Yeah. Come here. Ooh, that's Ellie's mama. That's my sister, Miss Squeaks. Well, you guys met her before if you guys watched the CES vlog. Princess Ellie, we call her, with her surfer hair. Yes. It looks like it's like, ooh. Alright, so we are back, and it is day 2 of this video because it's such an important topic, and we just could not fit it all in. And also my sister came over, and so I wanted to hang out with her. You know, one of those things.
Yeah.
But it is a really important topic, how to get a job as a developer.
Yeah.
And I touched on seeking out online communities if you don't have the physical communities accessible where you are.
Yep.
And Josh wanted to kind of touch on that as well.
Yeah, I'll even say I've had that personal experience of the benefit and value of actually knowing somebody at a company that brought me in. When I had no experience, it was one of my brother's friends that we had known, and I knew too. He was a developer, and he actually helped me get my first internship. And then even after that, I started going to meetups, made friends with another guy, developed a relationship with him, and it wasn't like I was just trying to develop a relationship with him to get a job. People know when you're trying to do that. Just develop relationships with people, meaningful relationships, and it's not just what can I get from you. And that relationship led to me getting my first paying job, and I moved to Orlando and worked for a startup and worked there for almost 4 years. And so yeah.
And then he got me a job there.
Yes. It's very powerful to know people, especially when you're first starting out, because a lot of the times, because of that relationship you have, they'll give you a chance even if you don't have all the accolades and experience 100%. That you're supposed to have to get that job on just a cold resume. So
100%. Yeah. My first internship, I met this girl. She was an engineer. She had graduated from the school that I was at. And I went up to her after she gave a talk, and I was just, giving her all sorts of praise because I genuinely was so excited that there was another female engineer that was this powerhouse. Like she's incredibly smart, and she just had this confidence, like she knew what she was talking about. And after that, I kept in touch with her, and the next time I ran into her at another event, I was like, hey, and she literally was like, do you want an internship or do you want a job? And I go, yeah. She connected with me on Facebook. No joke, it was either the next day or the following day, I went into her place of work. They interviewed me, went through my GitHub. We're like, yep, when can you start?
That's awesome. The random thing that you kind of said, which is show genuine appreciation and praise. If you are not necessarily a people person, and even if you are a people person...
Oh, I'm super awkward.
I highly, highly recommend this book. It's old, but it's called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Best book.
We read it every single year. Those principles will help you create connections, make friends, amazing stuff that just you can remember when you're in any social situation or even communicating online. That'll be really useful in developing these relationships.
That is 100%. I used to listen to that more than once a year or read it, and it's so good. That's a great reminder for me to actually listen to it or read it again. But we are in the car, as you can see, once again, and we are heading to our office.
AKA coffee shop. Who's ready to get a job?
And you know what to do now, hopefully.
That's what worked for us, at least. Everybody's going to have a different experience, but those are the tips that literally got me 2 programming jobs and my very first one when I had 0 experience.
I feel like I always say the word yep. Yep. So if you guys like this video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. And of course, please subscribe to our channel. We would greatly appreciate that.